everybody, welcome back. I'm just going to be checking the fluids on the van, the oil and the coolant. So I'm going to pop the hood and let's take a look. Really need to go ahead and get an oil change for this. I don't drive it that much. Since I've owned the van, I've not even made it 3,000 miles, but I already had the oil change, but it's been a little while. I mean, it seems like it's still full. But I do have a small leak from my coolant because this never seems to be full. So my coolant does have, it always has a little bit at the bottom, which I'm glad it does, but I think it needs to be here, and when I fill that up, I notice that there's always like a leak at the on the ground like a day later. I think that's supposed to be in there, but there's, without something, pliers, something, I don't think I'm getting that back in there. Old pine needles. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some to that. Alright, so I got some antifreeze coolant, so I'm gonna just add just a little bit to this, and should be good to go for at least a little bit. Might have overfilled it just a little bit, not much. Alright, so okay guys, well, I just filled up the fluid, just checked them. I think everything's good. I topped off the coolant, and I think it's good to go. I do want to show this though. One of the commenters that has watched a lot of the van videos that I have, said that if I knew about the vent at the floorboard, or around where the pedals are, and I did not know that. Anyway, so is commenter was at Chris Garage, and this was the this knob right here is also a vent. If you can see that. It's kind of dark right here, but you see that there. That's, I guess you pull that right there, and that vent kind of is open right there, kind of like the wing window a little bit. This shuts it. So I did not know it had that. That is crazy. This whole time. Guess I need to look under here a lot more. So to Chris Garage, thanks for showing me that. I appreciate that. This thing's so big, who knows, there's probably so many other things I don't know about this, you know, the features and stuff like that. So hey guys, so anyways, I just want to wrap up this video, but first I was just going to talk about a couple things, you know, things that really a lot of people don't know about me, except those that are close to me. I am going through some personal stuff right now. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been camping that often. Plus, I've been real busy at work too. But life is good, except, you know, for the personal things, like my stepdad is he's pretty sick. He's just entered hospice care. And I don't talk about that much, but he does watch my videos, so I call him dad. So I have two dads. I call my stepdad dad and my biological dad, and I'll tell you about him in a second. I just met him not that long ago, a few years back. Just found out about him. So I call them both dad, because to call my stepdad other than dad would be a slap in the face, really, to him, I think, because he raised me, took care of me. He's raised me ever since I was an infant, so it does get confusing. But for my video purposes, I'll just to separate the two, so you know who I'm talking about. He's my stepdad. But in life, everyday life, he's my dad. So anyways, just wanted to clarify that he's got an inoperable brain tumor. He's still fighting though, and you just never know, you know, what's gonna happen. But so yeah, there's that. My dad from California, my biological dad, he's coming down in April. So it'd be nice to see him. I've only met him once. So in 2019, really, let me just take you real quick story. 2018, Black Friday, my wife bought me Ancestry.com. She gave it to me early as a Christmas gift on Black Friday weekend, but I didn't do nothing with it until after Christmas. My whole life, I knew that my stepdad was my stepdad. My mom, you know, when she was younger, she was going through some stuff with my brother's dad, and you know, just something didn't happen. Some things didn't work out for some reason, and so my mom had met you know, my dad, and just had a little fling, but she couldn't remember his name or anything like that. So all along, you know, my life, you know, I knew that I didn't have a dad, or I mean, I knew I had a dad out there. My stepdad always told me he wished I knew who my real dad was too. And you know, so I just never thought there'd be no way of knowing. She couldn't, you know, she was in Philippines. She couldn't really remember, like, he was in the Navy, but couldn't remember, you know, what military branch he was in and stuff like that. But so anyways, I got that Ancestry.com, hoping that maybe I can find a distant relative, like a third, fourth cousin, on there and maybe kind of work my way back to that, but um because I just didn't know who my dad was, so he could have died in Vietnam or anything like that. So that's what I was hoping for. And so I finally did take it the day after Christmas. I sent it off day after Christmas, and you track it. And about 3 weeks later, I woke up one morning with a notification saying that I have matches. So I was like, okay, cool. And it was tons of matches for second and third cousins, but then there was one that said either this is a match for a parent or a child, and since the guy's picture was kind of old, so I obviously knew that wasn't my child. So I knew at that moment that was my dad. So I can't believe I even went to work that day because of how excited I was. But I did go to work, and at break time, I think I looked on my Facebook, started searching for him. I couldn't find his name in Facebook. So then I was like, okay, I did message him through the Ancestry app, but I thought maybe messaging him through Facebook would be easier. Well, I end up finding one of my second cousins, I think, that was on there, because I saw his profile pic from Ancestry, and it matched the same profile pic on Facebook. So I was looking that way too. Excuse me. And so then I looked through his friends, and my dad was listed as one of the names on there. So I messaged him through that. He replied back by lunch, basically. So he lives in California. That was 9 o'clock his time. Imagine waking up to that you find out you have a kid 40 some years old. But so he messaged me back. He asked me, if you don't mind me asking, what was your mom's name? And I told him, and he immediately knew. Then he remembered her and all that stuff. And he called me at lunch, and we talked. That was one of the reasons why I wish I didn't even go to work that day, because I had a lot going on. But we talked at lunch, and the first thing I did, though, after we talked and we connected, we said we're gonna get together and visit. The first thing I did, though, I felt guilty because I actually found my real dad, and I went over to my stepdad's place, and basically, I told him, hey, because I didn't tell nobody that day, what happened. And I went to him first, and I told him, and kind of broke down a little bit, because I was like, I didn't want him to be disappointed, and he was so happy for me, though. So that was great. He said no matter what happens, I'll still be a son. So then I went to inside the house and talked to my mom, because my stepdad was outside. And I told her, I said, hey, I found my dad. And she goes, really? Who? And I told him the name, and she goes, oh, yeah. And, I think she knew his name the whole time, but just wasn't 100% sure. But anyways, that was the story on finding my dad. My wife and daughter and myself flew out to San Francisco, and they picked us up there, and where they live at, it's about 300 miles north, 3 hours, north of San Francisco, kind of northwest. They live by Yosemite, so pretty close to Yosemite National Park. So we stayed there for about a week. And then, they were great. I mean, they were awesome. My real dad out there, he kind of broke down a little bit, because he got to meet me. He got to meet his granddaughter, and he was just upset a little bit that he missed all this time with me. So yeah, so we had a great time, and man, my stepmom, she's awesome. Just one of the best. So then I found out I had two brothers and a sister with through my dad, my real dad, and down here I have a brother and a sister. And what's weird fact on this is that both of my sisters are named Rachel, so it's crazy, but they spell it different. So, anyways, COVID hit in 2020. I was gonna surprise my dad for Father's Day by driving to California and be there on Father's Day, but when COVID hit, I didn't want, me traveling cross country and getting them sick. So we canceled that. And then 22, 21, we didn't get together. 22, we talked about going to Vegas, but my wife and I had already used up most of my vacation days, and I said, well, maybe we'll plan for 23. Never happened because just things, just life happens. So we tried, both of us tried to get together. In 24 last year, my dad was planning on coming here to visit, and then we were going to drive all the way from here to California, together, and then I was going to drive back. That didn't happen either. That was more on my part because I was busy last year. Had a lot of things going on. But this year, my dad's already bought plane ticket to come here in April, so we got that. And so yeah, so he's coming here in April. June, I'm driving the Pathfinder to Michigan, going to the Upper Peninsula and then Canada. So I'm gonna drive here by myself, and my wife, daughter, and grandson are gonna fly because it's gonna be a long trip for my grandson. He's only 3. By that point, he'll be about over 3.5, but it's 18 hours at least. And plus my wife's having a bad sciatic nerve pain right now, and her knee. Actually, this week she's having surgery on the knee, so hopefully that helps. But she's been living with that for like 2 years, so I decided to get them plane tickets. I'm going to pick them up from Detroit Airport, and then we're going to continue on our way. We still got about 300 some miles to where we're going, because we rented a VRBO house right off Lake Michigan up there in the Upper Peninsula. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna travel all around up there. I love it up there. I want to show my daughter where we're from first, though. While we pick them up from the airport, we're gonna stay at a hotel that night, and the next morning we're gonna go to where I grew up in. It's a town just north of Detroit, and we're going to visit that for a little bit, just for part of the day, and then continue on to our VRBO. And then we're also going to head to Canada. We're getting our passport, so heading to Canada to visit there, and hopefully that'll be fun. So that's what we got in June. And in October, I plan on, and this is the plan, I'm going to probably take close to 2 weeks off. I'm going to drive from here in the Pathfinder. I wish I could take the van, but I don't think she's going to make it, at least for what I need to go. I need a hustle to get where I'm going. So I'm going to go to California, Northern California, where my dad and stepmom are. I'm going to hang out there for a couple days. I'm going to pick him up. We're going to drive the West Coast all the way up to Port Angeles. I think that's how you pronounce it. Washington. It's right there across the bay from Canada. So it's right there on the border. My sister lives up there. We're going to go see some places up there. Then I probably need to drive him back, drop him off, and then head on home. So that'll be fun. I mean, I love road trips. I want to fix this van up so it would be, worthy of a cross-country road trip, because I would love to take this van cross-country, but that would be for a time where I can take time off, so if something does happen to the van, I still have time to get it fixed or, do something about it. And but I'd love to take this van cross country. It needs a little bit more work, I think, done. But I would love to take that trip out there, or even to Michigan. So anyways, yes, I'm sitting in my van in the driveway. I was just came in here to, after I changed the fluids and talked about that vent down there on the floorboard. Just wanted to also talk about what I got going on this year. So I got a lot of stuff. I will make room for some camping trips along the way, because that's what I love to do. I'm sorry that those that follow me, I just hadn't done that often. I know that a lot of you follow me, only follow me because of the van at the time. Some of you follow me because I had the Toyota, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching my videos. Like I said, I'm just doing this for a hobby. I got a full-time job. This don't hardly pay anything for me, so like I said, this is all just a video documentation for me, like a diary, that hopefully my daughter and my grandkids would, like to watch, in the future, and just see how my life was, that this is the lifestyle I like. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry if it's a real boring video to you, but if you give it a like, and those that hadn't subscribed, please do, and I'd appreciate it. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on, and like for you guys to to follow along on my journey. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys on the next video.